So the first thing I want to start off with is the mental barriers to actually starting out your SMMA. And I know I'm not the only SMMA YouTube channel you're watching. You might be watching other YouTube gurus out there talking about SMMA. Some of them telling you that you need to have an excess of $1,000 to maybe even $10,000 to even consider starting out your agency, because you also need to have money for running ads. Because, well, if you're an SMMA owner, like if you're focused on online marketing, then you need to also, the way you get your clients is through online marketing, through paid advertising. Although I do understand the ideology behind this thought, the fact of the matter is, if you are starting out your digital marketing agency, then you won't have any proven concept nor recurring amount of income that would be justified, and like you'd be willing to actually just go ahead and put that through paid advertising and tell yourself that, look, I have 17,000 Rand I'm willing to waste. Let's put that into the ads and see what happens, right? And the fact of the matter is, when you are just starting out, you need to understand that there's a high chance that the niche you're getting into is a shitty niche that can't afford your services. You need to understand that when you're just starting out, you might not have cracked the proper message, the proper offer that you should be showing to your niche, even if your niche was the best niche you could ever pick out there. Though I do believe that there's no such thing as the best niche, I do believe that there is such a thing as the best offer for your niche. So now jumping into the next step is, so where to get your information. The first thing is to understand that if you have $1,000 or $2,000, then it's cool. You can go ahead and spend money on courses, right? I've also made a course review once on my YouTube channel. You can find that course review right here. If you don't have that $1,000 or $2,000 to actually just go ahead and pay for a course, then you can just get free information on YouTube, right? I make a ton of free content on SMMA and how to grow your digital marketing agency for free. But there are also other ton of YouTube channels you can go ahead and watch that will help you out, right? Some great channels that I recommend is someone like Sam Ovens, Alex Becker, and there's a ton more. You could actually just go check them out wherever you want. No such thing as free clout. And that's just YouTube alone, right? There's also things such as free Facebook groups you can go ahead and join. And if you ever do stumble across any sort of like issue, all you can do is just ask a question in one of the Facebook groups you've joined, be it maybe like 3 Facebook groups or maybe even 5 Facebook groups. Just join those Facebook groups, and if you do stumble across an issue, right, so maybe your emails are going to spam and my YouTube video on how to avoid going to spam doesn't really help you the way you want it to help you, well, you can just go ahead and post a question into that Facebook group and say, hey guys, my emails are going to spam. Throw in what your email, like you're throwing your email script into that, like a screenshot of your email script, and say, how can I fix this email script, right? And you'll just get a ton of answers within a few hours. So that's a very good thing about Facebook groups. When I started out, I joined 3 to 5 Facebook groups, and if I stumbled across any issue, then I'll just post about that question. I'll just post a question into one of those Facebook groups, and I'd have my question answered within a few hours. Mostly it took like 12 hours, but yeah, I'd have my question answered within the same day. And the great thing about that is you can actually get any question you have answered by someone who was in the exact same position you were in only a few months ago or maybe a few years ago, right? But the most key thing you could do is just try to get some friends in your circles who are online, like whether they be on like a specific YouTube channel, on a Facebook group, who are just like a few months ahead of you. Because if your friends or your mentors are just a few months ahead of you, it means that they still understand how to get out of that situation, right? You can't ask someone who's making 12 million rand, or like should say like $1 million a month, how to make your first how to get your first client, right? Because that happened so long ago for them that getting 10 clients is a trivial issue to them. It's like literally it doesn't even faze them, so they wouldn't really care. But like, to put this in Leighton's term, when you do actually have a mentor who's just a few months ahead of you, the information is still so fresh in their head that they are willing to just help you out and tell you all the issues that they were facing and all the issues that you will be facing within the next few months. So that's the great thing about just joining YouTube chat, watching YouTube videos, and joining Facebook groups where people are just only a few months or maybe 1 or 2 years ahead of you. But anything more than that would be something I'd say never consider doing. Like, I'd say consider getting a mentor who is ahead of you, but understand that that mentor who is ahead of you, and understanding that if that mentor is 5 or 10 years ahead of you, that any issues that he does try help you with are something that will only be more mindset focused than anything else, because, well, the only person to actually help you out in the next few months is someone who's already a few months ahead of you, right? So that's just where to actually get your information. So now we're moving on to software, right? So the first software I got on the list is Diagrams.net. Now, Diagrams.net is like a more free version of Lucidchart, right? So you could either use Diagrams.net or Lucidchart, but I use Diagrams.net because it was custom tailored to BPMN. Now, if you don't know what BPMN is, it's basically business process management and notation, and it's basically just where I put all of the funnels, the processes, all the SOPs of my entire business is all literally in one document, right? It literally just makes my entire life easier. And when I do get more team members in, it'll make their lives easier, because everybody knows that they just have to have this one document open. I'll literally have it on the screen right now. They only have to have this one document open, and this one document will just take them through the entire process wherever they are, whatever that might be, right? So it's just a great way of just mapping out the entire process of your agency, and literally going extremely, just mapping out the entire process of your agency and going into extreme detail about each and every step, and having an SOP for each and every step if it is required to actually do so. I don't suggest going crazy with your SOPs. But the next thing is Calendly, right? Calendly has a free version and a paid version. I honestly still use the free version, but Calendly is a great software to actually just have people book calls on Calendly, right? You can have it embedded onto your website, or if you don't want to spend money on a website, just send with your email, just send personal link to your scheduling page to have them just schedule the call on Calendly. Next thing is Wix. Now, Wix has a free version of a website, but I honestly wouldn't suggest a free version of their website, because it literally has like their ads on the actual website. So if you can't afford to get a website, then don't get Wix, right? But if you can afford to get a website, then get Wix. It's only like $12 a month, and it's a great place to actually host your website. That's where I host my website currently, bieginners.com. But the next thing is, well, let's say the two things is GoDaddy.com and Namecheap.com. Now GoDaddy.com is where I purchased my main domain, bieginners.com. And while like on reverse, Namecheap.com is where I purchase all my business domains for my more of my outreach emails, right? So I have 5 different emails with namecheap.com, and each one of those emails only cost me like $2 a year to have. So I honestly literally don't care about any of my outreach emails, although I do ensure that none of them fall into spam. But if any of them were to fall into spam, I could just get rid of it and buy a new $2 domain on GoDaddy.com. Now you might think, how are you just getting a $2 domain and outreaching to businesses with that domain? Doesn't GSuite charge you $6 a month to have a business email or to host your business email? What it does, my main website, bieginners.com, it runs on GSuite, right? So I pay $6 a month per email there, and I only have 2 emails, one for myself and one for my team member. And so it's basically in total about $12. But if you are working with yourself, it would only be $6 a month for one business email. While you have a free version of an email hosting software called Zoho Mail. Now, all the domains that you purchase with namecheap.com, you could just have them transferred into a business email for free using Zoho Mail. And the great thing about Zoho Mail, it allows you to create and manage 5 business emails through like 5 business emails per each domain, right? So in total, I could have about 25. I could have about 25 emails that just outreach for free. Of course, I don't. I only have 5 emails, each one bongi@yourbusiness.com. All right. And the next thing is Trello. Now, Trello is a great it's a great like free CRM. If you can't afford to get Pipedrive, then I'll just suggest you use Trello, right? And as soon as you do get your first client, then just go ahead and jump into using Pipedrive. But Trello is a great way to actually create a free version of your CRM, or a free version to actually maintain your team, right? So have like a to-do list, like tasks that you need to do, tasks you're currently doing, and tasks you've already done, right? And just basically it's a Kanban sort of board. Just research it, right? The next thing is Asana. Now, Asana is where I create all of my SOPs. Now, when I said in the beginning that Diagramsnet hosts all of my SOPs in one document, what I meant is that it hosts the entire diagram, the funnel, whatever you want to call it, the workflow, in one entire document, right? So in each like tiny little segments. And if I do wish, or if my team does wish to actually enter into that SOP, like in that one specific part, each part has a link, right? So if they want to access the link on email replies, right? So if you get a positive email reply, go to this SOP, right? Then they click that link connected to that, takes them straight to Asana, that Asana SOP, so you can actually figure out step by step what to do. And they'll even have Loom video in that SOP, so they can actually just watch the Loom video and then jump into the word for word SOP version of that thing. So lastly is documents, and having your documents signed electronically. Now, what I would suggest for this is a mixture of 2 different softwares, which is PandaDoc and Adobe Premiere Pro. Now, if you can afford to pay for the pro version of PandaDoc, then I'll just suggest going ahead and paying the full version of PandaDoc, so you don't necessarily need to use Adobe Premiere Pro. But if you can't afford to get the pro version of PandaDoc, then just combine PandaDoc with Adobe Premiere Pro, right? So it's basically just creating a template, right? Creating a contract or a proposal template on Adobe Premiere Pro in a PDF format. So when you do get a new client, all you have to do is just go into that PDF, enter the prospect or at that time it would be a client, so enter that client's name and surname, any details in there, the pricing, etc. Then download that PDF and just upload it into PandaDoc and send it to the client's email to have them electronically sign it. So that was how to actually sort of your agency, but more specifically, so that is how much you need to start off an agency. I listed the free version and the paid way to start off your agency. And if you did enjoy this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right underneath me. It's totally free.